5 Whoppers and 5 More Whoppers.
There's a common notion in our society that you should never explain why you find something funny. Because if you have to do that, it probably wasn't funny to begin with.
If you have to explain a joke, there is no joke!
Well, in my view, some jokes and memes transcend this notion. These are what I would consider comedy gold. They are the things that never get old. They're above reproach and they can't be tainted. No matter how often they're reposted, explained, or in the case of a viral clip, looped over and over, they remain hilarious. One such classic example is
5 Whoppers and 5 More Whoppers.
Now, I'm not going to explain the history of this particular viral clip or delve into who these individuals actually are. KnowYourMeme.com already exists for that. And in terms of identifying them simply for the purpose of this video, I'll be calling them King 1 and King 2 for reasons which will become apparent. But what I am going to do is highlight 7 elements of this clip that I absolutely love and why I think it's so funny. Some are obvious, some have only been spotted after continuously looping this video, but all come together to culminate in one of the greatest memes of all time. So let's begin with one of the most obvious elements. Probably the first reason someone laughed at this video is the fact that someone would order 5 Whoppers and then 5 more Whoppers. Not only is it just 2 guys in a car ordering 10 Whoppers, but it might also be the most obnoxious and simultaneously hilarious way to do so. 10 Whoppers is a lot to start with, and is probably already annoying to the Burger King employee simply taking the order. But 5 Whoppers and 5 more Whoppers just adds a little bit of extra spice to how annoying making that order already is. And the fact that it's a large order of Whoppers is relevant to our second element, which is now firstly, wearing the Burger King crowns would suggest that these individuals have already been to Burger King today. Was it the same Burger King that they're currently ordering from? Did they also order 5 Whoppers and 5 more Whoppers from this same Burger King or a different one? Is this the only thing that they've been doing all day, driving around and ordering many Whoppers from many Burger Kings? Secondly, wearing the crowns themselves is hilarious, because let's assume for a moment that King 1 and King 2 have not yet been to this Burger King store today, and therefore collected the crowns during a previous order from a different store. This means that when King 1 and King 2 drive up to the next window to pay for and collect their food while wearing the crowns, the Burger King employee who meets them there is going to realise that these 2 individuals, who just ordered 10 Whoppers, have already been to Burger King today. Something about this imagined scenario makes me crack up every time I think about it. Now, less on imagined scenarios and more about the actual clip. Back on the 5 Whoppers and 5 more Whoppers phrase. This phrase in itself would not be as funny as it is without the use of pauses. Without pauses, it sounds like this.
5 Whoppers and 5 More Whoppers.
Which is kind of funny, maybe in its own way. But with pauses accentuated, it sounds like this.
5 Whoppers and 5 More Whoppers.
It suggests that the speaker is going to order 5 of something else, only to then order 5 more Whoppers. The pauses and cadence of King 1 suggests that he and King 2 are taking their roles as crown-wearing kings very seriously, and they truly do sound like royalty. The next element is related to this because now this is something I did not notice immediately. The speaker box board seems to be promoting particular meals or menu items as being part of the King's collection. On its own, it's not that funny a thing to notice, especially as it makes sense for a franchise like Burger King. But this particular frame, showing King 1 wearing the crown, which is clearly marked by the way as Burger King, and the speaker box board promoting things from the King's collection, all collectively come together to almost validate the individuals as being kings. Almost as if the speaker box board has noticed them with their crowns on and says, "Are you guys at King's? Why not try something from the King's collection?" And that's not all the speaker box does in this clip, because as soon as King 1 completes his order for 5 Whoppers and 5 more Whoppers, the monitor on the speaker box instantly changes, suggesting to make the order into a meal.
5 Whoppers and 5 more Whoppers.
As if a total of 10 Whoppers is not enough food for the 2 kings, they're asked whether they should add fries and a drink. It's the timing with this one that makes it so funny, and it's definitely something I did not notice until after viewing the clip on loop multiple times. As soon as the phrase is spoken by King 1, the screen changes. Now we've said a lot about King 1, but we can't forget about King 2, because to start with, we have King 2 looking at the camera until King 1 says
5 Whoppers,
upon which King 2's face lights up with excitement and he flips the camera to then record the rest of the interaction. Does he light up with anticipation because he already knows the full order? Or is he already about to laugh because 5 Whoppers, after they've apparently already been to a Burger King, is already a big order? I like to imagine it's the latter, because then King 1 following up with
and 5 more Whoppers.
The way he does means that King 2's reaction to laugh at the end mimics our own. He's just as surprised as we are. Now, although King 1 and King 2 are the only people in frame in this viral clip, we're forgetting about a third very important individual in this interaction, and it's definitely worth pointing this element out, because you can actually hear the Burger King employee respond if you listen closely.
5 Whoppers and 5 more Whoppers.
Now, I'm not actually sure what the employee says. It's too quiet and muffled in the context of the rest of this interaction. But it sounds like he says something like, "Hang on," after King 1 says,
and 5
before saying,
more Whoppers and 5 more Whoppers.
and then as the employee is busy trying to enter the order on the screen for themselves, King 1 simply orders 5 more of the same thing again. Putting all these 7 observations together, some obvious, some realised with time, you get a beautiful conglomeration of comedic elements which makes this, in my opinion, one of the greatest recorded incidents of all time and a classic meme. If there are other elements you feel I missed or other reasons you find this interaction funny, please let me know in the comments. Like a gold mine, if you keep digging, you have the chance to find more gold. So no doubt there's more here in these few seconds of glory. Also, please keep in mind that, as I've already said, I did not cover the history or actual context of the video itself. You can find all of that information already at knowyourmeme.com, so I didn't feel it was worth me repeating the same information here. Instead, I want to end with some screenshots of some of the funniest comments I've seen on this viral clip. Thank you for watching.
5 Whoppers, and 5 more Whoppers.